Hi, this is an assignment for the subject Comparative Business System. My topic is a neutral country, Mongolia. This is my content. On September 29th, Mongolia President suddenly announced that Mongolia will implement a permanent neutrality policy at the 70th session of the United Nations General Assembly speech. This action undoubtedly caused widespread concern. Is it a strategic adjustment of its foreign policy or a change in strategy? In Mongolia's position, the permanent neutrality of the country is indeed in line with its core interests. Let's look at this map. Mongolia is the 19th largest and one of the most sparsely populated independent countries in the world, out of which it's the second largest landlocked country, which border by Russia to the north and China to the south. Inevitably, the location is an embarrassment to Mongolia. It has 2.9 million population. The capital is Ulaanbaatar. In 2013, Mongolia GDP was 12.5 billion, increased 11.6%. In 2014, its GDP was 12 billion, declined to 7.8%. From the past 200 to 300 years of history, Mongolia has been pursuing a policy of obedience to China and Russia. Between 1960 and 1990, it decided to follow the Soviet Union to be hostile to China. Mongolia did not get any real benefit from this policy. In 1992, Mongolia declared independence of constitution. It transformed the foreign policy, declared a non-aligned stance, rejecting the deployment or passing of a third country's troops on Mongolia's soil. Mongolia decided to develop political, diplomatic, and economic relations with the United States, Japan, Europe, and other countries. But this small landlocked country was difficult to achieve national strategy breakthrough. All in all, China and Russia are too strong to escape. They have the continuous historical ties with Mongolia. In the last decade, Mongolia has established a comprehensive strategy of cooperative partnership with both China and Russia. Thus, it believes it's time to declare permanent neutrality. It has 153,000 hectares forest, but with a serious desertification, the pasture resources have been reduced. Surprisingly, they still exported dried pasture to China in last year. It's rich in mineral resources, which has proven copper, gold, silver, coal, and other 80 kinds of minerals, more than 3,000 mines. That is the biggest reason why the country attracting foreign investments. More than 60 species of mammals. Livestock is the main industry in Mongolia. The State Great Crow of Mongolia is the highest organization of state power and the supreme legislative power. It's unicameral and consists of 76 members elected by the mixed electoral system, which chooses the prime minister, who nominates the cabinet in consultation with the president. It has authorities of legislation. Mongolia's law stipulated that the Great Crow can discuss all issues and policies of the state and have a special power to address other issues. The Mongol Bank is the central bank of Mongolia. The main objective of the bank is to ensure stability of the Mongolia monetary. Within its main objective, the bank balances and sustained development of the national economy through maintaining the stability of money, financial markets, and the banking system. With strong economic growth, private sector's credit has increased significantly. Financial sectors is fully privatized, and now 16 banks, 141 non-bank financial institutions, and 131 saving and credit cooperatives are operating in Mongolia. Mongolia's economy is based on livestock mining industry, which was dominated by a planned economy for a long time. Before 1990s, it implemented planned economy system. In 1991, it transferred to the market economy. In July 1997, the government passed the scheme of privatization of state-owned assets 1997 to 2000. The goal of the scheme is granting the private economy to access a dominant position in the national economy. Until 2007, the economic development showed a good trend. In 2012, per head of GDP was $3,042, ranked 87 in the world. In 2014, the GDP fell to 7.8%. The researchers conclude improving financial freedom is the most important cause. The external situation may become more vulnerable over time in the wake of large external debt repayment scheduled for 2017 to 18. Until 2011, the total external debt was $9.6 billion, exceeds 80% to its GDP. The largest trading partner of Mongolia is China. The main exports are livestock and mineral products. Mongolia imports machinery, equipment, fuel, industrial material, and daily necessities from China. More than 80 of Mongolia's imported oil come from Russia. From 2009 to 2010, the average price of real estate rose 45% in the capital, Ulaanbaatar. Modern skyscrapers and shantytowns become the typical symbol of poverty gap in this country. The rich probably accounted for 10 to 15%, most of which were the owners of minerals, real estate business, and the senior officials. The only property of the poor is the Mongolia package. Middle income groups account for about 10%, like engineers and the teachers. There was a rapid increase in the number of cars. Ulaanbaatar cars ownership from 80,000 in 2005 to now nearly 300,000, including a large number of import cars from Japan and South Korea. Due to the short-term benefit of LME, the infrastructures in Mongolia seems poor and weak. The population of Mongolia is about 3 million. About 38% of the population live in Ulaanbaatar, the capital of country. In Ulaanbaatar, approximately 70% of the population live in shantytowns. Due to the custom of nomadic ethic, Mongolians do not like saving. Now they have been influenced by the Western ideological invention. The lives of local people began to gradually westernize. Young people in Mongolia like to play games, watch entertainment programs, or chat on social networks such as Twitter, but less care in news. They celebrate Western Valentine's Day, April Fool's Day, but some of the traditional festivals are still important. Education has developed in recent years. Mongolia has 183 universities and colleges. 80%, 30% belong to government. The others are private. Some rich families send their children to study abroad. Likewise, there are some student exchange programs from government. Lack of high technology innovation is another reason to result the low development of Mongolia. Lots of companies still use some backward methods in their mining program. Hence, here is a business opportunities to foreign countries, especially for some high-tech developed countries like USA and Japan. In conclusion, Mongolia has tried to close to Western countries to implement a LME system. However, it still faces many challenges. To be a neutral cultural country needs strong strengths. Compared with Swiss, Mongolia is too weak. The rich resources give a strong confidence to Mongolia, but also place it in an unstable position. It's not easy to say no to the large countries, particularly in this competition age. The permanent neutrality is a measure of keeping and reserving its own interests in a complex geopolitical struggle. Sometimes the permanent neutrality inevitably means illusory utopia.